Heyo! So this is a short video of a day in the life of me, an English teacher living and working in Hanoi. I'm going to take you on a little journey through what I would normally do on a Tuesday. So it's a typical Tuesday. It's 10 a.m. and this is our apartment in Seasons Avenue, Hadong, which is like about 30 minutes outside the city center. Here we have our sitting room slash dining area, my laptop and bits and bobs over here in the corner. I had to buy a new laptop there not so long ago. I tried my hand at online teaching for a little while, but I don't know. I think the what's the word? Hold on a second now. Jux dig through my brain for the bloody word. The mindfulness of a physical classroom, meeting with your students and teaching on your feet is far more enjoyable than teaching online. Anyway, here you have it. We're on the 41st floor in Hadong. Luckily we have a lake which I often run around in the morning, even though Hanoi is marked as like the second worst city in the world, I think, for pollution. Today's a particularly bad day. So we arrived here at this time. We had arrived here 1 year ago, and the smog was probably as bad as this, if not worse. To be honest, it hasn't been all that bad up until now. So in the last few days, we've just noticed that it's going to get a lot worse over the next while. So the winter months are far more despicable than the summer months. We had a good enough summer. Here's the master bedroom. Some works of art on our wall. We paid the somebody figure of $10, I think, for each of those. So we have a couple of dogs and cartoon cats. The master bedroom. So big screen TV, which we don't bloody use because I don't know, we don't have a connection for it. Here we have the wardrobes. I've got a blast of tailor-made shirts, which are about $15 to $20 to get tailor-made. I had some of them made in Saigon and some of them here. Here's the master bathroom. I have my Vietnamese terms. There are some handy terms that I had attended when I sellotape that up to learn them all off, and I'd say I probably know about 5 or 6 of them. But here is the Christmas tree. We have Christmas in 2 weeks' time, and here's our kitchen. And of course, here is the beautiful Kay. Kay, say hello. Okay, so I would have taken a little shot of the baby who has been causing a riot over the last couple of months, more particularly than in the last few weeks. So he's making an absolute rumble in the jungle. And to say we're anxious would be an understatement. Of course, I'm a little bit more anxious than Kate. She's taken it very well. I'm like the woman in this relationship. I don't know what the hell I'm doing myself. Hopefully everything just comes naturally when the baby pops out, but we will see. Anyway, that's all from the apartment. I'll take you on a little gander downstairs, show you the gym and the swimming pool, and then we'll take a cruise over to the other side of town for an AA meeting. All right, that's all from the apartment. All right, let's go. See you later, honey. So we're off on a little trip across the city. As I said, we are, okay, here's a couple of neighbors. It's not so often that there's a queue for the lifts. But yeah, Hadong is like 30 minutes outside of Okay, so this is the parking lot, or motorbike level. And there's two separate floors for the motorbikes. As you can see, everything's neatly ordered. They've even got 3 or 4 security guys working around the clock to make sure everybody abides by the rules of motorbike parking. Coincidentally, I've got my 2 bikes here parked together, as there was the only space that was left when I got back late last night was right beside my Honda CBR, which I only really use when I'm outside of the city. And here we've got my old shitty sim bike, sellotaped together, but still a good machine. All right. We all got to queue up here and awkwardly take out a bloody card which is assigned to the motorbike, just so they know nobody's trying to steal my $200 sellotape together Simmobile. Okay, and that's the normal entrance there for the pedestrians. Right, let's go. Let's see how this works. I'm going to try and do a combination of, well, no, more or less I'm just going to be making a short video while driving to see how it works. Apparently this GoPro has some type of shock resistance, which allows me to make a pretty decent go of recording a short video while I drive. I've seen this guy do it up north, making his own little YouTube videos. So the whole thing I'm trying to do now is just replicate what I've seen on YouTube. I've been watching more and more YouTube vloggers. That's my little coffee shop that I normally go to after I've done a jog at the lake. Now this is a little detour that it took me about 6 months to find. A little shortcut. So Seasons Avenue is a large, modern, 41-floored building. There's 4 separate buildings. It's kind of the creme de la creme of what you can get for, in terms of comfortable living, for $600 or even less. I think we're on like $570 or something. We get a really nice 2-bedroom apartment. By the time I finish this video, I hope to have a recording of the gym and the swimming pools. So anyway, yeah, Seasons Avenue is a large modern apartment block right across the road from another residential building known as Mulberry's. So the two of them combined sit nicely in the Hadong area, which, as I said earlier on, is half an hour outside of the town. There are probably 20 or 30 similar style buildings around this area. I'm not all too familiar with them. All right, check it out over there. This is the kind of jazz that you see along the side of the road. You got loads of sellers with their Chinese imports. I guess they just get big bulk imports of jackets and rugs and hens and chickens. Well, no, I'd say the hens and chickens probably are a little bit more local than all your bits and bobs, but you can get anything you want, like runners, jackets, t-shirts, along the side of the road for a price of a couple of, like just for a couple of dollars. You can get a lot of them are knockoff. Okay, I'm going to try and flip this around to see what it's like recording like this. This is how I saw a guy, as I was saying, the YouTube guy up in up north. He did a vlog of the northern provinces, which is absolutely an incredible next part of the world to go driving in. The Hajiang Loop, also the Zappa Loop, are two amazing places to go on a motorbike. Maybe if I make more videos, I'll refer to that YouTube vlogger, and I'll put his details in the comment section. Now it will be gas. Oh, look at this guy. So this is typically the students. Say hello. These guys, 15, I think under the age of 15 or 16. You can see a couple of more of them over there. They're the guys wearing the sports jackets. Now, they're only allowed to drive those little electric motorbikes. So kids under the age of 16 are allowed to drive little electric things, and you can see that they have them as young as like 11 or 12. So it's not uncommon for you to be driving along. Suddenly you see to your left and to your right a little 10-year-old or 11-year-old on these little electric bikes. Not sure how bad, you know. Hello.
Hi.
Say hello to YouTube.
Hi.
Yeah, so the smog is not so bad on a day like today when you're down on the actual ground. What I was saying before, living on the 41st floor from the balcony. Check out those guys. Yeah, you can see the smog a lot more, but when you're actually down on the ground, you don't feel as bad. Weather ain't too bad at all today, actually. I'd say probably about 17, 18 degrees. Yeah, so I'm also... Alright, that's gonna happen once or twice. I'm also conscious of the time. Like, I don't want to have a really long video. I want to try and keep it to about 20 minutes. So I'm going to turn this off and we'll come back on after the meeting, or I'll give you a little glimpse of where the meeting is. Okay, over and out. So we're about halfway along to the rendezvous for today's meeting of sober people, which is absolutely 100% anonymous, of course. Hold on, we've got a beacon going on. Right. Yeah, sorry, I left this part out at the start of the show. I probably should have started off with this. One of the reasons why I'm interested in, or perhaps the main reason why I'm going to be making little YouTube videos, is I am trying to convince people who are in pits of substance abuse, either by virtue of a oppressive job regime that they're in, or perhaps even the fact that they might be homeless. I'm trying to document how easy it is to just transfer yourself from either the streets or a life of misery into a life of sobriety and comfort over here in Hanoi. Now, it mightn't look so much like comfort through the lens of this video, but I can assure you, after a couple of adaptations, life in Vietnam is a pleasure. You saw the apartment that I was in this morning. That might be a little bit on the upper level of what you can get. I mean, people probably wouldn't pay as much as what I'm paying. That's only $550. I mean, where else in the world would you get that? What I'm trying to say is, in a nutshell, if you have $1,000 in the bank, or have any way of getting $1,000, you can contact me and I'll tell you exactly how to go about changing your life, right? From actually getting off the substance that you're on, be it alcohol or drugs, We actually have an NA meeting tomorrow, so there's NA attendance in the city as well. I hope to document a journey that I frequently take to a place called Mai Chau in another YouTube video, which is a place where I suggest if you are in the pits of substance abuse that you go there first and live on $5 a day, and I'll make a YouTube video exactly how you do that. Now I'm gonna shut up now, and what I hope to do is just put some music for this next part, because I'm about to enter onto the equivalent of what they would call a city highway. So I'm just gonna be quiet. Made it to my destination. This is part of Teho, which is the center of Hanoi. Well, I'm probably about 10 minutes away. This is one of the boulevards, many little boulevards that are scattered around all of the Vietnamese cities. So I'm just walking up towards the cafe where we typically have our AA meeting. I'm going to give you a little snapshot of what Hanoi life is like. So here's a big group. Say hello, everyone. Hello! They seem to be all enjoying a 11 a.m. Cup of coffee, and the same thing for these guys here. So apart from the coffee shops that you'd have, like the one that we're about to go into, you'd have coffee shops like this. It's just a guy who's got a kettle and a few bits and bobs, a couple of plastic chairs like that, enough for him to set up shop and sell coffee for whatever, 50 cents a cup. Okay, this is where we have our meeting on a Tuesday lunchtime. Check out these fellas. Hello. Beautiful. And Inside the diner. Hello! Now, I'm going to have to press stop on this because you do not get to see any of the people that attend this meeting, unfortunately. Okay, that's me, over and out. Alright guys, that was the... yeah, sorry, I can't bring you inside the rooms. The sanctity of the AA meeting cannot be disturbed. Today we were talking about step 12, which is coincidental. I was just talking about it on the way over here, about trying to help other people get into recovery. So that's what I'll hope to talk about a little bit more if I do upload a couple of more videos on the subject. Now I'm off to my class in public school, so I will get back to you when I get there. So we're just around the corner from the public school where I work, but I thought I'd shoot a small video as I approach it. This here on my left is a large bridge, it's the public transport system which China had paid for or agreed to pay for in installments until the relationship between China and Vietnam went sour after the alleged illegal repossession of those islands just off the coast, which are being disputed by... Okay, so here we go. Interrupt to see what's going on here in the middle of the road. Yeah, why not? Just a bit of midday gutting the road apart to get at the electric cables. Yeah, so the infrastructure and this and many other projects have been stalled because of the sour taste between Vietnam and China now that there is various different disputes underway. I saw a documentary there the other day about this great big palace that they had built for 35 million. China built this great big palace. It's the Palace of Friendship between Vietnam and China, and it's brand new. No sooner had they finished it than the relationship had gone so sour that no Chinese meeting, Chinese and Vietnamese meeting has been hosted in the palace. The palace is just empty. I don't know how severe the relationship between China and Vietnam has become, but certainly this project has stalled. And does it bother the Vietnamese? I don't know. I don't think the Vietnamese are as in tune to what's going on around them as other Asian countries. But look, maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more in another YouTube. So now we're coming off what I call Suicide Road. That road I travelled up and down several times a week for the first couple of months that I was here. One of the main reasons why I quit my job in Yola, I just couldn't take the drive down Suicide Road. Particularly nasty during peak traffic hours. So yeah, I'll just let the bloody road speak for itself. Okay, now we're going to take a right down a quiet little residential lane. Suddenly everything changes. It's the thing about Hanoi. You can be driving down one road, take a little left turn, and suddenly the architecture changes, the context changes, even the people's style and fashion changes. Suan Trang Trong is the name of the public school, secondary school, which I teach in for 8 hours a week. Hello! Alright. So down here to the teachers' parking area. Off with my helmet and on with my Hanoi hat. I still have a couple of minutes to kill, so let's just continue this video while it's recording. Oh yeah, geez, I get to see the time here on the front of the GoPro. Let me see. Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what I've been watching a little bit recently. I was talking to one of my friends, I was talking at the meeting today actually, about how YouTube algorithms work, so that I initially became interested in this guy called the Indigo Traveler, who's this guy who just like heads off with a camera into the unknown. He started off in Iran, then he went to Afghanistan, then he went to Venezuela, and as he blogs, he gets more and more YouTube subscribers and Instagram followers. And when that goes up into the 50,000s and 100,000s of the people that are following, if you work it out, and I watched another YouTube guy go through how it works, YouTube basically takes 45% of the revenue from the ads. The host gets 55%. So those vloggers can make the one blogger that not Indigo Traveler, there's another guy called Bald and Bankrupt. He's making 171,000 a year from his vlogs. Now he is vlogging up in Chechnya and the Ukraine, and he speaks Russian, so he's in some incredibly interesting places. Next, the algorithm worked to present me with this guy called Simon Wilson, who's a Welsh guy who basically just woke up in the year 2018 with zero money in his pocket, decided that he wanted a different life, and set about building his Instagram and vlogging presence by assigning himself all these really difficult tasks, like sleeping with no money in Dubai for three nights, traveling from one end of Australia to the other with no money, based on the support system that he set up around Instagram and all this other jazz. But the video I watched last night about him in Dubai was interesting. He was talking about the law of attraction, and after talking about some of that kind of subject at the meeting, it just brings it all back. The law of attraction is that if you go out there and do something, the world will open itself up to you. So on the subject of me trying to convince other people how easy it is to relocate out here to Hanoi, it is something that I will hope to cover a little bit more in future episodes. But yeah, I'll also tell you about some of the other vloggers that I've been watching. I'm hardly going to be able to get 150,000 people following me, but you never know. Anyway, so bye to my motorbike for now. Bye. This is a secondary school as opposed to the primary schools. We have an age group of, there's one of my colleagues, South African chap. Okay, we'll say a little hello from everyone. Hello. I don't know if I'm allowed recording here. The security guy could come over and tell me not to. I just walked straight past him, didn't even see. Right, so here's the main schoolyard. Check it out. Say hello. Hey. Not so bad, huh? And it's 4 floors all together. I don't know how many different classrooms. Could be about 50 or 60. Just check my schedule. Yeah, we're down here. Say hello. Here are all the other guys. Say hello, teacher Connor! Right, there's all the messers. Alright guys, that was the typical Tuesday in Hanoi teaching English. I gave you a little show around the apartment. I brought you on a spin over to my meeting. I showed you around the typical little boulevard, and then you saw the school, the public school where I work. I've still got another few hours left in a training center, but you're not coming with me. So I hope you enjoyed that little video, and I hope I'm able to put it all together so that it will easily upload onto YouTube. Cheers, guys.
41. Door opening.
Oh, home at last.
15 real.
I'm so tired today.
You're so tired today. Oh.
Carried him straight to his jail.